training. I'm back with another one of our interview series where I'm bringing to you an expert who is in the field, a business owner who's actually living out the characterpreneur principles that we've been talking about, that you've been learning about. We're on module about core values and guiding principles. I have talked to you, we've shared about how important these are, and so now I have the pleasure of introducing to you Brian K. Wright. Let me tell you a little bit about Brian. I'm going to read some of his bio, and then you're going to get to hear and learn from the man himself. So let me start by telling you, Brian Wright, he is the publisher of a phenomenal magazine called Success Profiles, and he's the host of the Success Profiles radio show. Over the past 6 years, Brian has interviewed world-class achievers such as Darren Hardy, Jack Cranfield, Eric Swanson, Don Green, Dr. Don D., Kevin Harrington, Sharon Lecter, and many, many more. Some of the best interviews are now featured in Brian's book, Success Profiles, Conversations with High Achievers. And there is a link to where you can purchase that book right near this video so that you can get a copy of it yourself. With the lessons in the book, with the lessons that Brian has learned from high achievers and through his own experiences, he seeks to educate, motivate, and inspire others to become greater versions of themselves. Throughout his career, Brian has been a top performer in the areas of sales, customer service, and training. Brian, welcome to our Characterpreneur program.
Thank you, TC. It's an honor and a privilege to be here and to serve your audience.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, you are such an incredible business owner and leader yourself, and the folks that you've had the opportunity to interview and learn from and share with have just been incredible. What I want us to talk about in this business, and I should say especially too, because you've been a high performer in sales and in community service, which requires interfacing with the public. I want to talk about core values and guiding principles. That is the module that we just finished learning about in this program. How important do you think core values and guiding principles are to being successful in business?
I think it's absolutely critical, not only for my own experience, but in the experience of the people that I've interviewed on my radio show. Tony Robbins very famously says that we make decisions based on what our values are, but a lot of people go through life and business not really fully being aware of what their values are. They just take things on a situational case-by-case basis, and that leads to a lot of confusion and indecision because they feel stuck. They don't know. But when you know what your values are and you know what order those values come in, you can make such better decisions. And I'll give you a great example. Susie Orman, financial expert, always says at the end of her show, people first, then money, then things. That's a values hierarchy. If you operate within the context of treating people right, then the money will come, and then you can buy things with it. But if money is your first value and people are your second value, you're going to make a whole set of very different decisions. And just flipping two values around will do that. I worked for a company where that flip happened. It was a startup, and I'd worked with them toward the beginning of their time, and there were probably 8 of us. And the owner decided he would people almost without regard for their character. Basically, if you can hop on a phone and read a script, he'll hire you and give you a chance. Well, that causes some problems. If character and integrity are not at the top of your list and you decide to say whatever you're going to say just to get a sale, that causes some problems. And I realized after a while that things just weren't going the way that I wanted them to go. Something felt very, very off. And less than 4 years later, I ended up leaving this company. And about 9 months after I left, the FBI shut this company down, wire fraud, credit card fraud, and a whole host of other stuff.
Wow.
And the owner went to jail for a while.
Wow.
That's what happens when you flip two values around and don't honor who you are in business. Now, that's an extreme example, but that actually did happen. And I just couldn't be a part of that anymore. So you have to be very clear about what your values are and what you are willing to put up with and what you are not willing to put up with. That is so important.
That is such a powerful example. And I love that you shared just the flip of the values make all the difference in the world. So the prioritization is key. And just what's important.
Right. When you care about people more than money, you will make one set of choices. When you care about money more than people, the choices are almost opposite.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right. So now let me ask you, so we talked about, I mean, you just gave us a great mini masterclass in how to think about hiring employees and making sure employees, contractors, assistants. Let's talk about clients. When you are looking to work with a new client or somebody wants to work with you, you're evaluating clients, how important is it that there is a match in core values, and what core values are most important when looking at clients?